Welcome to the most autistic podcast on the internet, Spontaneous Racism, featuring James, Connor, Eric, Sam and Connor. Bend over, bitch, it's party time!
Hello and welcome back to Spontaneous Racism, a terrible podcast for terrible people, and I'd like to start by saying, I'm eating a cock pizza. Welcome back, everyone. So this week we're going to be talking about a variety of things as per usual on this fucking wreck of a show.
No,
You're terrible. So we'd like to start just by saying that we are hoping to be transitioning to a monthly show, or at least something a little closer, because we've been having problems with scheduling errors and just various shit getting in the way, as is tradition around these parts. And so I guess we can kick it off from there, just talk about recent activities.
Oh, let's talk about your first comment. What the hell is a cock pizza?
Oh, alright, so,
Well, you see, it's a pizza
with cock in it.
cock on it.
So we recently, just this evening actually, when we were doing our little gay-ass get-togethers, which we commonly do, as I'm sure many of you are aware, the show isn't recorded until late at night, so that we were at the sheer pinnacle of retardation. And we ordered a pizza that we saw online, and it was I believe it was a cock-a-doodle-doo pizza, and every single item on the pizza, I swear to God, was an allegory for dicks. So, it, for instance, had hardwood pizza, and it was a cock-a-doodle-doo pizza, and chicken on it, which, as we all know, equals cock.
Don't forget that creamy garlic sauce.
Yeah, creamy sauce,
Not the creamy
as I'm
sauce.
sure you're all aware.
As hard wood smoked bacon.
Yeah.
I think we can all say the same thing about that was a good cock.
Yeah, it was some damn good cock.
Yeah,
Damn.
we're not gay.
Some
Extra.
of us had more cock
I
than others.
promise we're not gay.
Well,
one slice.
Yeah, Sam. I think it's time to tell the audience.
Connor, why don't you go sit in the DashCon ball pit?
Joke's on you, I got an extra hour.
Alright, so, that aside, though, for recent activities, I'd actually like to start off by talking about the fact, for a long time I'd had a lot of people talking to me about the fact of, paddle block theater, and every single time I would look at it and be like, oh yeah, it seemed vaguely fun, but no. And I recently had it purchased for me as a Christmas gift by one of these faggots, I don't know which. And first things first, the soundtrack is awesome. I think we can all agree on that, yeah.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking brilliant soundtrack, and I love the game to death. The controls are kind of fucking shoddy, but whatever, that's what I get for playing on PC rather than using a controller. So, yeah, that's just literally Satan. So yeah, anybody, other various recent activities?
Dude, fucking smell this.
Why are you smelling a crowbar?
Why would you not?
Dude, fucking smell it.
pass the crowbar,
You.
man.
I don't... What? Why?
I love how this goes from freaking battle block theater to let's sniff a crowbar, everybody.
Speaking of crowbars,
Pass around
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Pass around the crowbar, everyone. Take a wide whiff of this
Dude,
crowbar.
pass the blunt, man.
Fucking
Dude, I'm so high.
Dude, I just smoked one crowbar.
cool, we got our blunt.
Objected
We have
by
our-
Holmberry crowbars.
I'm glad we can say that.
We have
for
our
once in our
traditional blunt crowbar now, I guess.
So maybe this is something racist, spontaneously.
Traditional is said loosely.
Boy,
Jinx.
I'm not racist or anything, but some days I can see where the Third Reich was coming from.
I mean, I'm not racist, but whenever I see a black guy on the street, I have to cross the other side.
Oh, so, this will probably be put in later in the episode. Oh, fuck, I think I just spiked the microphone for that. As is
What a
tradition.
gay.
Oh, yeah. As is fighting professionalism, of course. We will probably almost inevitably be putting in a disclaimer at the beginning, but in case we don't, and our sound guy fucks up, which I think in this case would be me, being as this week Vinny, or this month rather, Vinny will be gone. So, due to gayness
We
and
Found our logo.
something involving Mormons.
With every episode, we'd have a pretty inconsistent amount of people joining. It's different every time, but we're really hoping to be able to get to a point where we have the same people, if not, give or take a few coming to each episode,
At least.
just to give a solid consistency with that. But
So we'll see how that turns out for us. So on to our next topic. Something I personally want to talk about is that for a while we've had me and one of our other cast members that is occasional and predominantly kind of our tech guy. Me and Josh, utter MOBA faggot. Sorry, other MOBA faggots out there.
I hate you all.
Yeah.
Side note.
You're all okay. We've been working on this new project that we're really interested in. Whether or not it'll ever actually get done is a different story, but because it does involve stealing 3 mannequins, so we'll see how we work around that. But we're really interested in doing Real Housewives of Uncanny Valley or something to that extent. So you have that to look forward to in the future. Maybe I can even get Vinny to upload it or something, or maybe he'll be a faggot, as is tradition.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so we'll see how that works out.
Something about this. We're releasing an album. It's called Just the Tip. It's a little...
Oh man,
yeah.
let's not.
A little taste of it will be probably at the end of this video.
I guess you could say we're gonna just the tip of talking about just the tip.
Make millions.
Oh, I hate all of you so much.
Anyway, continuing on to what we were talking about. So,
Stevie Wonder, if I could play video games, you bet it would be Atari.
The debate with MOBAs. Is it an overdone genre?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Do
you like Dota? I hate you. Kill yourself, please. I mean,
Oh my god,
kill
League of
yourself.
Legends.
I mean, it's less a concept of whether or not MOBAs are good or not. It's more, can you not fucking slam your cup, you fucking heathen?
I don't.
And I think it's less of a topic as to whether or not MOBAs are good, because that's just going to be endlessly debated, and there's not a lot we can do about that. Sorry about that. But, I mean, certainly we've seen an awful lot of stuff. We've seen Smite. I mean, there was originally, what was it? Did Han come first? No. It was Dota the original, then Han.
Defense of the Ancients,
Yeah, and that was a mod.
for Warcraft 3, I believe.
Yeah, it was for Warcraft 3. And then from there, League of Legends, etc., etc. But now we're seeing more stuff like Smite come out, etc., etc. So we're having a lot of variety on the market, and whether that's a good thing or not, kind of leave up to you.
League of Legends is really popular. It's one of the more... Like, I really don't know how Smite is. I haven't heard about it until recently. But usually, when I first heard of the MOBAs, I always thought of League of Legends, which, I mean... I haven't played too much of it, but it's pretty bad.
I mean, I've played both League of Legends and Dota, and honestly, like, I can't really, tell the difference between the two. Like, if I play one or the other, there's some distinct differences, but then,
One's anime.
they're just like reskin packages of each other almost.
And then for experienced Dota player like me, it's just, I can tell you at the core root, the teamwork that is needed is amazing, and it's definitely a good team building game, but I think we can all agree that the community of it sucks ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is going to sound biased, but honestly, I've played both, and to be perfectly frank, I think the League of Legends community is one of the worst that I've ever seen around.
Community-wise, League of Legends is far worse than Dota's, but I mean, that's like saying...
That's not saying
dog
much.
shit's better than cat shit. It's still shit.
Difference-wise, I do see a little bit of it. Stuff like League of Legends has virtually no metagame, and I'm gonna get shit on because of that, and I know I am. But, I don't know, it's just, for me, it's a little bit in the Dota end, but once again, it's MOBAs. I play MOBAs sheerly because I get a little bit of enjoyment out of them, not because I think this is the end-all, be-all game.
Like, I know you were saying that you like them because they're really a good conversation sort of thing, but I can't see that because I really am not too big into it. But from what I've done, played of it and seen, it's sort of like CSGO, where it's more into the competitive than it is sort of like, I don't want to say casual, just sort of like, for TF2, for example, you can just join a server and play pubs or whatever, or you could really try to get into the, the 6v6 and stuff like that. It's sort of an option, but when it comes to Dota 2 or whatever, it's sort of, yeah, it has somewhat of a casual thing, but it's still going to be mostly, you gotta do it straight edge, you gotta do it by the book, if you don't do it, you're fucked.
And see, that kind of plays on the personality of people that play the game, too. It's like, a lot of people that play those games only play those games, with one of our cast members in this group being a very good example.
Yeah. Fuck you. Well, that wasn't me. That was Josh. But either way. And something I've firmly said in the past, and I think should be absolutely noted, is the fact that I can't honestly say that you should just enjoy a game because it's a quote-unquote conversation game. Because I firmly am of the opinion that any game can be made good simply by playing it with people. Fucking Moonbase Alpha is a perfect example.
Shut your mouth, Moonbase Alpha, I play that
That's
shit
my
single
favorite
player, it's the
MOBA.
best game.
But it's not something that you can honestly look at and say, oh, this is legitimately a good game. If you're having fun because you're playing it with friends, it's because you're playing it with friends, not because it's a legitimately good game.
Like you
So-
do.
But more importantly, a lot of the time when I go into a Dota match, I can just legitimately see that they put an awful lot of effort into the game. It's just not something that a lot of people enjoy, and I can understand that perfectly, so...
But like, it's still like the most played game on Steam or whatever.
Is it? Is it really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well then.
I thought it was TF2.
I'd have to look at-
TF2 has been crushed.
Oh,
Well,
then.
it's like,
In the
honestly, I think
Dota
Valve. Today's, speaking of, if you don't, well, I have a feeling not a lot of people who listen to this, 1/3 of that black guy down the street. For in TF2, there was this thing that came out last year, or it may have been early or late. Yeah, it was last year. This thing called the End of the Line trailer that some guy made, and it was going to be sort of a short film, used source filmmaker or whatever. Valve saw the trailer and thought it was a really good idea, and they decided to make a whole update out of it. Now, about earlier this year, the creator, whose name I honestly don't remember, was saying how he wanted it to be mostly focused on weapons, like adding weapons and game types, and there was a map even that went into beta testing, and it was a bit complicated to play at first, but I mean, after you knew what you were doing, it was quite a bit of fun, and it came out a few weeks ago. The movie was pretty good, but the update, utter trash.
Yeah.
It was only cosmetics and one weapon reskin, and they just scrapped the map entirely. But today we had the Smithmas update, which a lot of people... Last year's Smithmas update wasn't good because, again, they sort of had the whole mostly cosmetics, but usually they always had weapons during those updates. And they started doing the crate drops for the Naughty Nice Winter crates, and they were just reskins of last year's, and so that got a lot of people worried. But the update came out today, and they actually added weapons, and so it's already better than the End of the Line update, and they're not just reskins. And I just sort of wanted to get around, because a lot of people were really worried, especially after End of the Line, like, oh, is Valve going to fuck this up, or, like, I don't really know how to say it, truly. Like, what would you say?
What, for just the End of the Line update as a whole?
Well, not just for the End of the Line, but just sort of the way Valve, like, not necessarily mishandled it, but just sort of, like, fucked it up.
I mean, this is almost blasphemy me saying this, but honestly, as of late, I just feel a lot like Valve has dropped the ball lately. And I know they did a recent hiring spree of, like, hiring a bunch of new people. So that may have a huge something to do with it. So, hey, Valve, whoever the fuck those newbies you hired were, fuck them, but, fucking black people or something.
We're not racist.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Asian.
Yeah, it was
Facts.
nothing but Jews.
Hey,
It's
the
true.
Jews do not go into the game industry. We just handle the money.
Yeah, banking.
Well, I mean, End of the Line was
Pretty
pretty
sure
much
that's
money. It
more
was a
of a-
pay-to-play event because you had to buy that duck journal in order for it to do anything.
So,
Bonus ducks.
Fuck off. Look,
but honestly, I think as a whole, I mean, this entire year, there's been a lot of disappointment. I
Not a
wouldn't
lot
actually.
of,
Well,
the Love and War update was pretty good.
yeah, that was pretty good, and I believe that was the one with the trailer with the Scout and Mrs. Pauline, etc.
It wasn't the trailer; it was just the actual film, Expiration Date.
Yeah, Expiration Date. There we go. That's
That
what I
was the
looking
Love
for.
and War update, and they added weapons again in that episode.
Yeah, and frankly, I love that update. I mean, I
the
still
Halloween one
watch.
was even pretty good.
Yeah, I still watch the film and everything, the little short film and everything, and I think it's brilliant.
What, for
Um,
End of the Line or for Expiration?
End of the Line, actually, or no, Expiration Date.
Expiration Date, like End of the Line was good. I just wish they had voice acting, but I could see why they didn't have it.
Yeah, I would. Well, I honestly can't because I feel like a lot of the.
Because Valve didn't actually make it; it was solely those people. Valve more or less just like, this is going to be an actual update, and we're going to put it in the game, but we're not doing anything. It was purely sort of like the Electric Boogaloo update.
I
It
guess
was
I
purely
can
community made.
kind of understand that, but at the same time, you'd think. I mean, since they're going to make a whole update out of this thing, I feel like they should have gone back and done something about that. I mean, granted, there's not a lot they can do because this was already a fan-made trailer that revolved around being a silent film, but just a huge amount of the Team Fortress thing comes directly out of it being a, these characters are so funny to watch and interesting to watch, and they all have their own unique personalities, which is kind of what deviates it from Call of Duty, etc., every first-person
And
shooter
it is
ever.
pretty difficult to explain those personalities, except for like the Pyro, because they all talk. The Pyro's silent, which it works for him in a silent film, but everyone else you really can't get the craziness. Like, the soldier felt really underplayed. Like, his reaction to seeing, like, the orphanage and stuff for the end of the line update is like, yeah, it was kind of funny seeing how his face changed, but if they added the voice acting, I think it would have really carried it further.
And even the pyro himself is still kind of a trope within the series. The whole oomph thing is, I mean...
It's just a gag.
It is effectively a gag. I hate to say it, and especially with stuff like, what was it, the pyro trailer that finally came out. Even that was within the pyro's head. So, I mean, and it was all visual, visual jokes and stuff like that. It wasn't, like, oh, this is a funny character kind of thing. These were all visual jokes. So, it's nice and all, but once again, but moving on from that, I was talking about earlier this year, we had a couple of, I wouldn't say disappointments with it.
Well, Connor shit himself.
Connor once again shit himself in the middle of our podcast, as is tradition around here.
Tradition, it is very much tradition.
It runs deep within this podcast.
Right in the blood, man. Right in the blood.
Fucking other Connor shit himself like 10 times tonight.
So, but nonetheless, we have it on our sheets here, and I'm trying to make a nice transition into it, and I don't even know why I fucking bother on this show, because biting professionalism. But the evil event. Nonetheless, the evil event.
What is professionalism?
By show of hands here, simply for the sake of argument, who thought the evil within was good when it was released?
All right.
0 out of 5. That's good. I feel like so much was promised to us.
Like the end of the line up there.
Much like the end of the line.
Who said that?
Where'd that ominous voice come from?
God, is that you? JK, God's not real. Read a book.
Gabe Knowles to come through.
Read a book that's not the Bible.
So Half-Life 3, confirmed?
Confirmed.
Wii U exclusive.
Wii U
60 FPS, 4K, Wii U exclusive.
But once again,
Wii U Master Race.
we had this entire thing of, and we're all super hyped because this is going to be like the next Silent Hill, and it's going to be proper, Japanese psychological horror. And then it came about, and the first 5 minutes of it were nice, and then they handed you a shitload of guns, and they're like, have fun, faggot. So...
I was honestly never hyped for it, but that's just because, I liked Silent Hill and all, but after a while it's just like, okay, I fucking get it. You're in a weird place. There's monsters you can't kill. Can I just fucking get something new from this experience?
Yeah, well, I mean, once again, the entire thing is that there's a specific reason that I've tried to stay away from Silent Hill, except for 2, and I've been looking for 2 for forever, I swear to God.
Because lots of people... That's the one everyone likes.
Exactly, that is the one that everyone
4
likes.
was okay, honestly. A lot of people give that flack, but I thought it was okay.
God fucking damn.
Are you surprised?
Alright, let's see, what is the actual timer on this? Let's see, 2 minutes or something into the show, already onto the if.
Actually, this is normal stuff.
Whatever,
It's just
close
furious.
enough
God,
5 minutes.
Eric.
Look,
Close enough 5 minutes? No. Kill yourself.
look, don't judge me.
Ooh, Google has a new thingy.
A new thingy.
Yeah.
Really. Beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's a loop. By the way, you obviously, of course, can't see this, so I don't know why the fuck we bring it up. It's a looping gif of reindeer. It's a looping gif of reindeer. Okay.
Get it right. It's my sexuality.
I think
By the way,
what you were
Duck,
talking about, or are you still on your rant about Silent Hill?
Oh, I mean, I absolutely can be.
Well, it's because I sort of had another thing, because me and Josh talked about it. Story and gameplay. Do you think games could really, truly just stand alone on its gameplay, or does it need the story? I personally think it needs story. It doesn't need to be full-blown or whatever, but it still needs to be there.
Yeah, I think this is actually a really important topic. So, fuck Evil Within. Fuck, we don't need it.
My example was, if you take, Dota 2 or TF2, and take that game and try to make it into a movie based on what the game itself gives, it would not be good. But if you sort of go the opposite way, take Alien and make that playable, and you get Alien Isolation. That was an amazing game. I think it's probably Game of the Year, personally. But, sort of...
Boy, high accolades from an entire podcast about being racist.
Well, I mean, it is about running away from a giant black guy, so...
Yeah, we're xenophobic in the sense that we don't like aliens. Ha! Ha!
It's all a clever tag
It's funny
game.
because James is a Mexican.
It's okay, once again, we have another show full of racial diversity, so it's okay to be racist here.
See, I think this conversation and this topic also spurs off this article I read about how, I mean, this is completely off our checklist, but how this person thought that without BioShock's emotional appeal to people and how they get attached to the characters and the story, then it wouldn't be, like, because they thought the gameplay was utter shit. And without the emotional appeal, BioShock wouldn't have been, as good of a game as people thought it to be.
Infinite wouldn't be as good of a game, but the first BioShock was.
And they also were saying things like, how they thought that the whole idea behind the plasmids was kind of shitty because it was just, like, reskinned plasmids from, different ones.
Again, in Infinite, yes. In the first one, no. Because in the first one, Jack has little to no personality for, like, 75% of the game until the last 25, which I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it yet. But I assume you two have.
Yeah,
you
course.
haven't.
But I feel like the real
you
question.
understand.
I feel like the real question to be drawn from it is like, is gameplay and like emotional appeal solely based off each other? Like, if you were to have one or the other, would the game be shit?
Well, look at Telltale's The Walking Dead. That's majorly story. Yeah, it has some gameplay, but as a whole, it's story-based.
It's basically just a point-and-click adventure game. So.
Well,
Like,
it is, and I think it's an amazing game.
If BioShock didn't have its emotional appeal, would you still like it? Solely based off gameplay?
Again, Infinite, I probably not. But the first one, yes.
I think we can all agree that the first game out of everything is fantastic.
I mean, that's debatable. But
No, absolutely not. I mean, Fallout 1 versus, say, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, hell, even Fallout 2.
Which, don't we
Okay.
have that on
Which
this?
launched it into a completely different era, so I wouldn't say
Like,
that.
Fallout...
Okay.
Well,
My thought was mainly on like the Call of Duty series and stuff like
it
that.
just gets shittier and shittier.
Well,
I disagree. I
If-
think the first
if you
Call of
push
Duties
it
are
on
trash.
too far, like it becomes crap.
Well,
like-
that's absolutely true, but I think... It's on one hand saying that just because the series is...
Gone dry.
Yeah, if it's absolutely just ended, I mean, if you're just trying to push it out for the sake of, we need more cash, looking at you, Activision.
And EA.
And EA and the... just
Infinity
fucking
Ward.
get your shit together, video game.
Does Treyarch even make Call of Duty anymore?
I think
no.
they stopped after, I think, Black
Black
Ops
Ops 2.
1.
Yeah, I think they stopped.
They did
no,
Black
they
Ops.
made Black Ops 2.
They did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sadly.
Fuck, I don't know.
Let's not talk about Black Ops 2.
Honestly,
Let's not talk about Call of
I
Duty.
think
Well, it's
I
like,
think Treyarch did a great job with the Call of Duties they did.
This is, of course, a show for
Well-
fucking elitists.
they-
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
well, Call of Duty 4, 5, and 6, or Modern Warfare, World at War, and Modern Warfare 2, those are the best in the series. All the others,
World
suck
at War,
ass.
man. World at War is my favorite.
I think World at War or Modern Warfare 2 is my favorite. Just because, like, its story was so dumb, but it was fun as hell to play. Like, you gotta admit, that snow ski level was fun.
Ramirez.
Okay,
That's right.
let's say something real quick.
The
Just
numbers,
because
Mason,
this
the
is a
numbers.
podcast for racist people, I just want to point out that every time you play a Call of Duty game, it's never the white people that die. It's always like a black or Mexican guy that gets like his head blown off by freaking
The bulliest
revolver
and
when
luckiest,
he's
yeah.
playing like Russian roulette in a Vietnam camp, or it's
Ice
the
Cube?
Mexican. Yeah.
In
Or it's
Black
the
Ops 2.
Mexican that gets blown up by a landmine as you charge towards a church.
Was
The
there a
fuck did we
Mexican?
become a show for racial equality, Connor Christ? But
Fucking chink
so
on
something...
my face.
What about Payday 2 whenever I'm playing Chains? I always go to jail first. That's racist.
Prime example, 3 hours ago.
5 times in a row.
So, but something along that lines, seriously, I regularly, specifically one person, Lyle McDouchebag, channel I absolutely love. Go fucking check him out or whatever. I don't
He's
give a
better
shit.
than us.
Yeah, it's certain by miles, and he's also just as racist, so...
We swear we know what we're doing.
10 out of 10. But he, at one point he was talking about, in Uncharted 3, in fact, like a lot of the Uncharted games, he was talking about they're, like, having a similar thing as Call of Duty where it's like, it's always the black guy that dies, or always the Mexican guy that dies, or always killing Middle Eastern people. And that's, I mean, I don't think that's true. Would any of you guys, like... I know a lot of you guys haven't played a lot of the Uncharted games because I'm pretty much exclusively the PS3 owner around here, except for James.
I played the second
I
one.
mean,
10 out of Illuminati.
I mean, I've played all of the Uncharted series because I own all of them.
Right.
But
I haven't played 3.
I'd like to point out that the reason it seems like that is because, again, back to the racial equality standpoint of there are no like racially diverse people like that you can play as.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Chloe, she's like Native American or something. I don't know what the fuck she is, but
Okay.
she's
She's
clearly
just
not
sort of-
generic
Okay,
white.
so there's
I'm
one
looking that
person in that entire thing that you can play as that's Tintin or Tantan or whatever his name is.
Chin Chin?
Not Chinjin. What is his name? Oh god, I love him to death.
She's Australian.
Is she, well, yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about
She's still
ethnicity.
dark-skinned.
Yeah, I'm talking
I'd
ethnicity.
say she's from like New Zealand or something.
Something along those lines. I don't know.
But he was in Uncharted 2, and he's that guy from Nepal.
Yeah, God, I love him. Bless his soul.
Who's my nigga?
And so I guess there's some racial diversity. There's just not like the traditional, like there's that solid one person black.
And it's not,
Everyone's always gonna sort of nitpick that low. Like feminists are like, oh, there's no strong female characters. What about Faith
yeah.
or Laura Croft or Jill Valentine or
That's-
Ada Wong
What was
or
that
the
one?
chick from Metal Gear Solid? I
What was
forgot
that
her
one
name. April.
feminist who was like
Alex.
talking about being on the Mirror's Edge 2 development
Oh, I forgot
team?
her name, but she hosts Feminist Frequency. Yeah, she's on the
Oh
development
god,
team
yes.
of Mirror's Edge 2.
Okay, so I can literally rant about this forever. So, can you actually bring up her name or something?
Yeah, I
Because I want
can.
to directly bitch at this chick.
Like, I want to say something real quick, but like, a friend of mine who is pretty much a Tumblr feminazi, but she doesn't hate men to the extent like they do. But I was telling her, I signed a petition to get her off the development team. She's like, why? Because she's a woman? I'm like, no, because she has no game development experience.
Well, I'm just more concerned that, like, I feel like anything that is going to have a huge amount of censorship is going to destroy a game, regardless of what that censorship is. I don't care if you're, saying, oh, well, rape is wrong, because...
Anita
It
Sharkishian.
happens. Get over it.
But it's like, if it's put in the story for a reason... Okay, for instance, good instance of this, in fact, in I Am Alive, right? There's one bit in that where a chick, like, flat out gets raped in front of you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's not there simply for shock value, it's more there to portray a sense of helplessness. And I think it's there for a good reason. I mean, granted it's fucked up, but it portrays the feeling in the story that this is a fucked up world. And I think that's valuable, and I wish more games would do something like it. But of course, I Am Alive is kind of a small project that nobody really paid attention
That kind
to.
of wants to lead me back to Call of Duty real quick of the whole... You said that wasn't added for shock value, but like...
No
the
Russian?
airport level, yeah, no Russian. That had a story purpose,
a lot of people got butthurt over that.
but
Yeah.
I could see why. It's really sort of fucked up. And granted, it serves story purpose, but it's like, you can skip it if you are easily offended, and I fucked that up. If you're easily offended, you are allowed to skip it, and it wouldn't affect anything. So, if something's so fucked up, you have to put a message in there to, like, warn people, then don't put it in at all, if it serves very little story purpose. All it pretty much does is, you killed a bunch of Russians, and an American was found dead at the scene.
That's
That's it.
true,
But and in Modern Warfare 3, they had that scene where you're recording the camera or whatever, and the gas exploded. What is... Again, that serves no story purpose whatsoever. It's just there for shock value.
I guess the idea they were trying to go with there was to try and portray that, oh, bad things happen to good people, etc., etc.
I think they did it for publicity.
But I feel like at
Probably.
what
For Modern
point-
Warfare 3, at least. Because 2 caused such a shitstorm with that.
Yeah, they were just expecting it.
But
yeah.
I feel like there's a fine line between, trying to portray an accurate message and just throwing in bullshit just to throw in bullshit.
Yeah,
If
there's-
it doesn't support any, main causation to the storyline, and it's going to offend somebody, what's the point of putting it in? Because you're going to get shit.
Yeah, once again, better show than ours. Yahtzee, Ben Crawshaw, aka Yahtzee, of The Escapist. At one point, he was talking about the same thing with all the Call of Duty games. He was just saying that every one of them has a shock value moment, and that pretty much people are pretty much expecting it nowadays. And I think that's absolutely true.
I
I think-
can't think of what the one in World at War would be for shock value.
I think that was before they started doing shock value. I think that really
It was
started
before. It started in Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, and since then they've
Actually-
always had one, and it's
Well, it
bullshit.
was mostly Treyarch, or not Treyarch, Infinity Ward that did, because you could consider the Chernobyl level sort of kind of shocking, because it's like you're in the middle of a fucking irradiated city. I mean, that's sort of weird place that
Like,
was a
it
war
reminds me
zone.
of the first Modern Warfare when you're in the ghillie suit.
Yeah, that's the Chernobyl level.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, or the nuke that you see when you're in the plane or whatever, and the nuke explosion happens and you crawl out or whatever. That could be considered shocking.
Yeah, I think that might be.
And then I think it was after that Black Ops sort of did the thing where
Yeah.
in Treyarch's like, it's might as well a staple now. Let's just do it.
So congratulations, Infinity Ward / Treyarch / Activision. You officially have your own version of Jumping the Shark. Faggots.
Started a shitty trend.
So, but yeah, once again,
By
it's-
the way, the feminist frequency chick's name is Anita Sarkeesian.
I'm sorry.
Anita Sarkeesian. Or
Nita
Keesian.
Sarkeesian. Alright. fuck
She's
that
a
bitch.
stupid.
Regardless
bitch.
of what her name is, fuck that bitch. Seriously, I'm deeply concerned about something that I've been looking forward to for so long. I love Mirror's Edge, the original, to death.
I know,
It was a
it's so
flawed,
good.
yeah, it was a flawed concept. I'll grant you that. And it
Well,
looked-
not even a flawed concept. It was just a flawed execution. The concept is really good.
yeah, I guess, but and oftentimes it did look like it was more of a proof of concept than an actual game,
Mhm.
aka the environment being sterile white with like one other color, which granted a lot of people state is an aesthetic choice.
Which it sort of works with the universe. It's
Yeah, it does, but once again, oftentimes it did feel like that was just kind of put in there.
Especially when you go outside after a long time in the building, you're like, oh god.
Oh
my
god, that
eyes.
just reminds me of all the blood and viscera cleanup. We don't talk about that.
We don't
here.
talk about Viscera cleanup around here.
Oh,
we only
man.
play Viscera cleanup.
For what it's worth, I think that the Mirror's Edge atmosphere is kind of like, for what it's worth, if you're trying to pull off a game like that, it's kind of hard, because if you look at realistic settings, there's not much there's built in real life that you can actually do parkour and stuff on and move through a city on. Like, you can't just go across the top buildings. That really won't work.
I mean,
Like, it highly depends on the city. Even then, they're not that smooth and linear.
That's sort of not my main. A lot of my issues with the game resolve in like technical problems, like Faith won't grab onto shit a good 50% of the time.
Grab that faith ledge.
Grab onto that faith ledge. Oh man, that was a fun song.
you gotta have faith in faith that she'll actually get her
I
shit
got
going.
so mad that I was like, grab onto that faith ledge.
Can't wait for that hard scoping 420 dank cush balling grabbing of the ledge in Mirror's Edge 2 though. That's
I know.
gonna be the best.
So
Like,
I'm looking forward to the...
I have an idea, guys.
Right,
So, here's the thing.
0 out
right.
of 10.
Since we have basically every color of the rainbow as part of yes, thanks.
What?
Oh, sorry, I was being spontaneously
Is
racist.
OP a
My
nigger?
bad.
Anyways, we have basically every color of the rainbow to make sure that, like, socially, this isn't, like, as racist as it begins.
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but alright, go on.
Okay,
Jews.
but the point I'm trying to make, and it kind of wraps up to feminist, is I noticed we're all guys here.
Yeah.
And so we're also either white or black or Mexican. So
Even
I think
black.
we need like an Asian chick just to like even it out here.
But like, I don't have a problem with feminists. I have a problem with the extreme ones. Like, feminism as a
Feminazis.
concept is we want to be treated as men workforce-wise. Like, we want to get paid for doing the same stuff instead of less.
Great concept.
Which I'm totally behind. Like, that's a great idea. Equal rights and all that. I hate the ones that are like, we should kill men because they rape us. Sometimes.
Well, once again, I could care less about the entire, like, feminazi thing, whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit what you believe at this point. I'm kind of beyond that. After years on the internet, I've been horribly desensitized to everything.
Everyone hates everyone. so
Yeah,
it's
everyone
not
hates
matters.
everyone. But my number one problem, I'm going full anonymous here, but my number one problem with censorship is just, like, if you're gonna fucking... No, not anonymous. This is not fortunate. Get the fuck off
It
my
will
show.
always be
Anonymous.
I'd like to point out how my point was completely excluded, and now we're back to talking about feminism.
Because screw your Asians.
Shut up, pussy.
Alright, good
You
luck
smell
finding...
like a willy.
Good
and
luck.
Not a good one.
Good luck finding an Asian chick and getting around to this fucking
Yeah, I was
show.
gonna say, good luck finding an Asian
I
chick
bet
who
Athena
would, like-
could. Athena would all the
Let's
way.
just go
No.
down.
There is this Asian chick at my school who used to go to Holstrom. I forgot.
Should be like, Who are these faggots?
Yeah,
That's
pretty
it. Like, oh my god.
I think you can get one downtown on the corner of the street for like $25 now.
Damn, that's cheap.
much. Boy, our hiring pool has hit new heights. Strippers and
by
prostitutes.
new lows.
Fucking hell.
Anyway,
Hey,
what were
we
we
just
talking
have to
about
say,
going
don't
anonymous?
say.
So what's the turnover rate for this show?
Fucking
$2.
$2 and a ham sandwich.
Not even a ham sandwich.
Yeah.
That was
It's just the packaging of a ham sandwich.
So, pretty much, we have two things that are relatively similar. On one hand, we have the Rage retrospective, and this is something I can honestly go on about for decades on end, because I absolutely despised Rage.
Well, I'm getting
Specifically-
raped.
I mean,
Well, what does this have to do with the anonymous thing you were talking about?
oh, I was just talking about the, freedom of information and everything, and I don't...
Oh yeah, that's totally.
Because I feel like with this feminazi chick on the team, she's just going to be like, oh, that's sexist. And they're going to have to remove, like, entire good chunks of the game because, oh, that's...
What part of Mirror's Edge was sexist to begin with? You're playing as a chick.
Yeah, well, that's my point, is that they're going to find something.
You beat up only dudes.
Yeah.
She had a glove on her hand.
They'll
She didn't
fucking-
have 2 gloves. All the other guys get 2
I
gloves.
mean,
That's
for
not fair.
alright, look at this. Right, on one hand, look at the original game. You have the entire betrayal with Celeste. Sorry, spoilers. Fuck you.
Yeah, who gives a shit about the story of Mirror's Edge
Yeah,
anyway?
you have the
really?
betrayal with Celeste. Some fucking feminazi's gonna be like, oh, you're portraying women as the bad guy. We gotta put an end to this shit. You have an entire...
But if you don't have that, they're gonna be like, oh, you're not having women in there. Oh, you're only fighting dudes.
That's my point, is that one way or another, they're always gonna be pissed off about something, so they're just gonna cut entire
So
chunks
just
of the game.
Fuck it.
Yeah, they're just gonna say, well, fuck the entire project. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay. I want to see good shit come to light simply because it's good.
So
And not because it has some, moral or
If it
ethical
serves a
bias.
purpose, then it should stay.
Yeah, but that's my point, is that I'm concerned that this feminazi chick is gonna be all over this shit.
speaking of things that should have been released but aren't, the interview. Do you know what that is?
Oh yeah, I'm aware of the interview.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
the
think we're
whole-
all pretty aware of it.
The Sony scandal or whatever.
Yeah.
It's still
I
amazing.
feel like I read something saying that they might release it, but
They're not.
I
Every
know
major theater chain has said no, we're not doing it.
Yeah,
Some
but I do know
places
for a
do.
fact that they will be releasing it on DVD, apparently.
No, they're not. They actually said they weren't going to do it on DVD. That's why people are like, dude, just release it online. You can't attack people in their homes.
Yeah, exactly. And
What if you have a home theater? You're screwed.
I don't even care if it's a shitty Seth Rogen movie. I want it to be released because
freedom of information,
Yeah.
etc., yeah.
why should we let North Korea, which honestly, not like they could do shit to us anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
It's kind of impressive they managed to hack Sony when the most strongest computer they have in their whole country is an Atari.
yeah. Well, I mean, well, congratulations, we're gonna get bombed now because of you. Thanks, Connor.
God, who cares about North Korea? Kim Jong-un, if you're somehow listening to this, first off, why?
What the fuck are you doing with your life? Actually,
Start feeding your country,
I think
dude.
it's
That-
Kim Jong-il now, isn't it?
No, it's Kim Jong-un. Kim
Really?
Jong-il was his dad, and then Kim Il-sung was the first one.
You know far more about world events than I do. Congratulations.
I do. I know a lot about Korea.
being racist against Asians? What is this, a racist show?
Yeah.
Jeez, guys, why do stoop to such
Fucking
lows?
faggot.
You know what? Like, when I think of North Koreans, I think of rage. And when I think of rage, I think of that crappy ID
What the
game.
fuck you say?
Which is
girl on Facebook named Tessa Crotch.
Bend her over, tell her it's party time.
so. In case for those of you who can't hear because the microphone probably didn't pick up, apparently there's some chick on Facebook named Tessa Crotch. Please don't look her up. We're probably gonna have to bleep that out. Fuck. Yay!
We can't say names.
No, we can't because this is a fucking internet podcast. We're gonna get raped. Because that's how the internet works. Stop snickering like little bitches you are over there.
Killer yells wow during execution by lethal injection.
Why is that so funny to me? Gee Willikers, Bob.
Press any button to continue. Press his power button. Wow.
Press F to pay respects.
Over 20 pounds of pussy and ass. Dark Souls 2 Hardened Edition.
Please no. Alright, moving on. What the fuck were we talking about?
Rage and how it was a bad game.
Oh, yeah, right. The ending is shit. Have any of you actually seen the ending of Rage?
No, because I got bored at least the first 10 minutes of
I mean, suppose the gunplay is kind of fun, and the environments are...
The cars are neat. That's about it.
I mean, the environments are kind of cool, I guess, and the graphically it's pretty good, but...
Guys, how about a game where you go in a vault, then everything gets messed up, and then you can leave the vault?
Yeah, except this time instead of being
Fallout?
open worldy and exciting, it's gonna be
Let's rip
fucking.
that off.
Except instead, it's gonna be fucking linear as shit and boring. Yay.
How linear is that game? Because I never actually got
Super
around to
fucking
it.
linear.
So it's basically
Well,
it was
the
like,
worst-
check out this open world.
anything.
It was
Go
all-
that way.
Well, actually, it was even worse than that because they almost added insult to injury. They flat out said on their page, "This is going to be an open world immersive game," and it is technically because sure they give you an overworld, you can go anywhere, but there's nothing to do because you get one quest at a time and you get to go to that quest and nowhere else.
Sounds like the end of the line update.
Ah.
It could have been so much better because the environment sounds amazing.
It is. It's actually quite brilliant looking too, and the animation engine and everything, the engine that they use had an awful lot of power behind it, and some of the animations are truly beautiful. Dependent on how you hit enemies and stuff, so if you like shoot them in the leg or something, they'll like stumble towards you and stuff. So it has some great, truly great animations and stuff going for it. But unfortunately, the number one problem with it was that they just fucked up, and the ending is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Spoilers right off the bat, but once again, fuck you.
Who cares?
Nobody cares. It's Rage. Fuck you. So this, right at the beginning of the game, they flat out state that all the other members of the Ark, which are the Vault, are dead. They're dead. And you get out of your Ark unit, and everybody else around you is dead. By some means of God, you survived. Unknown reasons why, but you did. Congratulations.
Life, great job.
Yeah.
Back bad.
And it ends, and so basically everybody's after you because you are the sole Ark survivor. And Ark survivors, have,
Cancer.
well, I wouldn't say they're superhuman,
Ebola.
but they're basically really, really good. They're well trained, etc., etc. And more importantly, they have this armor that effectively has a built-in defibrillator that will keep you alive in most situations. And apparently this is really valuable, and it's also a fairly significant source of power or something. I don't fucking know. But
You're Iron Man?
yeah, basically.
reactor?
Basically, you... Arc, because they come from arcs, it's an arc reactor. Ha! Ha!
Kill yourself.
Yeah.
Bag it.
But, so, that's pretty much the main story, and that's why everybody's after you. And at the end of the game, you hit a button and defend it for like 2 minutes. That's your big boss fight, by the way, is you defend a button
Press
for 2
F to
minutes.
pay respect for 5 hours.
Yeah, pretty much. And then all of the arcs surface, effectively. They fucking dig through the earth and arise or something. Yes. So, and that's just flat out bullshit, because right at the beginning they state that all the other Ark survivors are dead. And then the worst part is that they expected a sequel for this. They were just like, oh yeah, there's totally gonna be a sequel, and we're gonna set it up for this. And it's bullshit. Honestly, I fucking hate it. So, if anybody wants to disagree with me, though, fucking feel free. Because
I totally disagree. Rust is 10 out of 10 best game ever, man.
You mean Rage?
Yes.
Good job.
So now I have to talk about how Rust used to be good, now it's like not that good. Also, why is everybody playing Skyrim right now?
Oh, so I believe we've talked about this on the show in the past, but regardless, we're going to come over it again.
Not the time of year.
We firmly believe over here at Spontaneous Racism that there is a cycle within this world.
A deep and emotional cycle.
It is a
if you will.
deep and emotional cycle that exists within all of our subconscious psyches. And that would be that once a year, around this time, God fucking damn it, James. I'm in the middle of doing this voice, and you had to fuck it up.
Oops.
I wreck ass every day. I'm thinking I'm gay.
I kind of want to say this really quick because I find it funny. It's a tweet between Tobias Linder, I don't know who that is, and Total Biscuit. It was, just saw some footage from Mortal Kombat from @TotalBiscuit. Holy shit. Fighting games and their misogynistic female depictions. Total Biscuit replies, people in their spines ripped out in this game, and you're concerned about the skimpy clothing? He goes, yes, fantasy violence doesn't affect me. Misogyny does. Fantasy misogyny.
Now that is how you should rate your games. 10 out of 10. ESRB. Great.
But anyway, Skyrim cycle.
Oh, right, the Skyrim cycle. So, first of all, I hope you know that for every single thing that you fucking put in there, either me or Vinny is going to have to link it in the fucking description. And
That's
fucking,
why I'm saving them.
And fucking, like, decade-old tweets are gonna be a pain in my ass to find.
Well, I have the image saved.
That means nothing.
Gay.
I don't need citation. What do you think we are?
So-
Some proper podcast?
Yeah, am I right? But regardless, so we firmly believe that there is a cycle to things, and that once a year, every year, about this time, when we first got Skyrim, all of us pretty much collectively got Skyrim around the same time, there was a solid week in which we didn't talk to each other. We didn't go outside, we didn't do anything. Skyrim was love, Skyrim was life.
Still is.
Pretty much is. And after that, there was like a long period of people were like, hey, finally good to see you again. You want to play a video game or something? How about Skyrim? No, I'm so done with Skyrim. And that was pretty much us for a long period of time. Already we're on to cat videos.
Dude, that's my cat in a box.
Already.
That's why I got my graphics
God
card.
damn it.
And I put it in the box. It's so cute.
Time to end this episode. Cat videos.
Cat.
Cat videos. But nonetheless, we believe that about once every year, about around this time, we get hit with the incessant need to play Skyrim, and I don't really understand why it is, but it certainly is. So, that's pretty much everything.
It's that time of year again.
Yeah, we're hitting that time of year again. So, I guess we're gonna go off and fucking play Skyrim or whatever the hell we do. So, once again, see you next month, everybody. Thanks for watching or listening or whatever the fuck you faggots are doing.
Hopefully, it won't have to be every month. Maybe we can get you every couple weeks kind of thing going on as we get more members. Coming in, getting more consistent podcasts recorded.
Different opinions on our grittening,
Nigger.
Maybe-
descriptions on social.
Maybe we could do
social
like a
injustice.
monthly main
Big
podcast,
wang.
and then like every other week, like a miniature podcast. It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, if nothing else, I guess we can start doing solo podcast kind of things, just in case, whatever, just filling the time, I guess. Frankly, you fucking faggots probably don't want to hear us anyways, but whatever, we'll do whatever the fuck we feel like. So this is our pre-Christmas episode, so, Merry Christmas or whatever the fuck you're doing.
And just to state this, if you're Asian and or a chick and would like to join us one time, we would love to have you.
Wow, that's racist. Narrowing down Asians. What
You have
about
to
the
have a
black
dick.
woman?
You have to have a dick to be.
Because as we all know, this show is an absolute sausage fest.
Leave it to Connor
Yeah,
to
so-
use our podcast to pick up kids.
So anyways, if you're either one of those two or the same thing at the same time,
Hot.
hit us up.
That's
Can I
pretty
have
fucking...
a post-it mouse?
We like tentacle porn, so we like things you like too.
Anyways, my last thing I was
That
going to say is check out our new rap music video that we're going to make
Just
tonight
like
as
it.
well.
That's
So
not
you
video.
go
album.
and zap to
Yeah.
the stream.
And we're going to post it with this thingamawhatsit that it is. So,
Just the tip. Remember, guys, just the tip.
Just the tip.
alright, have a
Featured
good night,
song.
guys.
Alright, Merry Christmas, everyone. From everyone here at Spontaneous Racism, except for you fucking Jews. We're probably celebrating Kwanzaa or whatever. Fuck you.
Hey,
Hanukkah.
I'm Jewish and I'd like to
Might as well
state
have Kwanzaa.
Happy Hanukkah.
Fuck off.
Merry Christmas to all, and a
Way to
merry go
peak
fuck
Mike.
yourself.